So, seems like everybody is here. So shall we start? Okay. So welcome to the Master of Design introduction. And we're going to take first probably around 20 minutes to give you a very broad view of what is Master of Design at the School of Design, PolyU. So first, before we start, I'm just curious, wondering how many of you are from design background? With design background? Okay, probably around half. So I assume the rest is kind of interest in design, right? Okay, brilliant. So this is a kind of new program. So I think we should start from the beginning. Suddenly it's high tech, right? We're talking about. Okay, now it's fixed. So the beginning of the story is we just finished a reform of the master program. So that was done in 2022. So till now, probably just 1 year over. So we just had our first cohort. So the team has been pretty much the same, but there's some changes as well. If you know the old Master of Design, you can see first we have our dean, and it's kind of a new to the old master, if you say. That's the boss behind the scene, okay, in the dean of school. And Sylvia Liu and is a leader of innovative business design. So from the photo you can see it's focused on business, focused on money. It's a money-oriented program. And myself, scheme leader, and also I'm leading the intelligent system design. So which means from the photo, you can see I focus on more on the vision, what is the future and what is the theoretical exploration. So maybe if you come to the program, you're going to realize I'm not really good at the tiny things. And later you're going to see we have a huge, very supportive admin team that's going to support us with that. We have a Cheryl Park, and Cheryl has years of industry experience. Later, Cheryl will introduce her to you, and she's leading smart service design. And we also have a Professor Lo Hong, and who has been in School of Design for 25 years, 24 years, yeah, long time. And Lo Hong is leading the transitional environment design, okay, TED. So this is the 4 programs we have, and we're going to explain why we reformed the whole Master of Design in this way. Okay, so before we go into the details of that, as a very brief self-introduction, you can see in recent 10 years, I have been taking the program reform role as a professor in the Tokyo Zokai University in Japan, and then went to Monash University, create the interaction design program there. Then I went to the Royal College of Art. I was leading the ID and the GID Innovation Design Engineering and Global Innovation Design 2 programs, which are running with the Imperial College London together. So which means that is the, mainly my interest is about how to bridge the technology with design together to reach innovation. Then in 2020, I came to PolyU and to help the dean to reform the whole Master of Design. So that is what we have now. Okay, so as a background, our School of Design is not really new. Got a long year history till now, from 60s to now, probably 60 years old. We start from Hong Kong Technical College. And when you talk about technical college, which means we try to not only innovate the technology, but also integrate the technology into the society. So which means something design can play a role with. So that's why in the 70s, we have developed the departments of design at PolyU. And in the 80s, we become an individual school, so called the Swire School of Design. And in the 90s, the school started to provide MA master program to the society. And very soon in 2004 has started to be ranked as one of the world's best design thinking program. And I think, to me, one reason one message you can see from this is we have been keep exploring what is the latest in the design field, especially in the master level. And also, as the Hong Kong's financial and the industry foundation in the region has helped a lot. So we work with them together. So that is our constant pursuit in this program. And in 2013, we moved to this fancy building designed by Zaha Hadid. And pretty good. We have a very good view in the master studios in level 11. And in the 2020s, we start to reform the program, and also we get fellowships for the program as well. So if you're local candidates, a later admin team will guide you how to apply for the fellowship. It's a pretty good program. Okay. So overall, we have around 60-something academic staff and supported by 82. You see, that's why we have a great support from admin team. It's bigger than the admin, bigger than the academic team. And we have undergraduate around 60, 150, and master. Yeah, I think it's quite a good number, 140, probably around 1/5 of the undergraduate. It's a very good ratio. And we have a PhD students around 61, and gradually growing up every year. Our alumni has been contributed in many different fields in the society. You can see Rico Chen, and he graduated in 2008, and he has been working for the social innovation and entrepreneurship development, and have a founder, has been the founder of Hong Kong and San Francisco-based social entrepreneurship, entrepreneur and enterprise beyond the vision projects. And also the Mary Yu, who is the winner of Understanding PolyU Alumni Award 2021, 2 years ago. So you can see, even we say we are Master of Design, but the graduates, they don't really only work in the design industry. They could contribute in many different ways in the society. So that's why our goal we set up is to provide a high-level flexibility and the interdisciplinary curriculum. So that is based on the whole development panels discussion that is, aligned with the school and also university vision. So we are trying to, bring the expertise from different fields to merge together, which also means if you are not from design background, you are very welcome to this program, because we emphasize on interdisciplinary and the flexibility. So to go in bit details, we have we focus on a broad range of knowledge and methods, techniques, skills, etc., interdisciplinarity. So why we set up like this? Because we understand a bachelor study is only give you kind of an overview of the field. Okay, what is the key knowledge components and what is the key methods, etc., only in the field. But if you want to jump out from the field, you want to find your own position, you have to ask the right question. What is your strength? What is the main challenge in the field? What kind of designers you want to be? So you need that process. Trust me. We look at thousands of graduates. You need that process to develop yourself to become a unique designer. So that's why you need all of these components. That is what we trying to apply, trying to provide in our master program, especially analytical, critical thinking. And when you look at, for example, new iPhone 15, is it good? Is it bad? Some functions like the soft key on the right, about that function. Do you think it's necessary? Is a good feature or not? So you should have a critical thinking towards all of this new development. And imagine if you are, I don't know, Steve Jobs or Cook, what are you going to develop, for your products? And the systematic thinking and rigorous and independent thinking. So all of this, we think is very crucial for develop something for the future. And for example, this project is about the how can we provide a new solution to tackle on the user's privacy issues. So the idea here is we're going to develop the tangible blocks, which one, like each tower represents one app. Then the block you can add or reduce is the privacy protocols, based on the user's intention. So that is we can use the mobile phone to build up augmented reality solutions for that. So when we develop this kind of solution, you can see first, we need to have an empathizing process to understand the user, the market, the culture, and the context, right? As this is quite basic for design. And if you're not from design background, that is some key information for you to learn from this program. And then we need to understand the technology. So if you are from design background with no technological background, that is the components you need to focus on. Now we need to define the behavioral changes. What kind of goal you want the user to do in your design? Then based on this goal, you can ideate, the creative solutions. Then we need to do prototyping, to create the functionality. Core functionality is something we have been aiming at. Most importantly, after that, we need to focus on testing and evaluations, okay, to bridge the design development with the research. So mainly through that, you can gather the users' feedback and some students publish pretty good papers through this, and which also paved the way for you to apply for the PhD in the future if you have this plan. Okay, so the ultimate goal here is we try to enable students to grasp a holistic view on the problems, and then to enable students to design something by creating innovative systems, which is features with the usable, flexible, intuitive, etc., etc. Okay, that's something you can define in your own projects. And we also not only it sounds like I've been talking about some hardcore design, but we also have this kind of artistic explorations. So this one is a physicalization of Bitcoin. So once you have a Bitcoin deal in the online in the internet, and this one gonna give you a carbon particle to represent the deal. Is it useful? Not really, but it's represent a new vision how designers to look at this phenomenon in the society. So that's why, based on this vision, we have developed the STEAMed perspective, and which is ISD, a business perspective, IBD, and service design, a service perspective, and humanities perspective. That is what Professor Lo Hong is leading, is very important, because it can enable designer to look at the things not only from the productivity perspective, but also from the alternative humanity perspective. This is very important. For example, when we discuss about designing a robot for COVID in the beginning of 2020, this one is called Tommy in Italy, trying to serve the COVID patient. They didn't like it. They don't feel comfortable. They feel it's danger. What this robot gonna do to me? It's all of these questions. The technology is great. The intention is great, but there's a problem with the interface, some problems with the algorithms, some problems with the key functions of this robot hasn't been defined properly. That's why it's the results is not ideal. Okay, so when you think about this, is this technological problem? It's not. It's design problem. So we can go one step further. We all know this game called Detroit Become a Human. So this is, if you play, it's very deep. It's talking about human robots. When you live with them together, what kind of principles you can design this robot? Not only based on the 3 principles. So most interestingly, in our students' work, we're going to analyze what is the level of automation, right? Which means you program the robot to do. And what is level of autonomous, which is give the self-learning or self-direction of the robot. So this balance is quite tricky, depends on the challenge. But we're gonna, train you in our program to go through this process to work on this together. Okay, so how can we do that? behind the scene, our philosophy is like a lens. You can imagine we look at the society, we look at the future through a lens. So that is the designer's view. You look at through the lens. First, we're going to see, ask the question of humanity. AI, what does this mean to the human society? And whether it's going to help us or going to kill us or make our losing our jobs or something. Then is a STEAM. One way integrate big data, AI, robotics, or whatever the technology into our applications is going to be good or bad. How to do that? And the service. Based on this solution, how can we develop the service? And then what is the new business model we can develop from this? So this is a whole set of innovation. And through this, we try to analyze what is the key knowledge components for the future designers. So based on this vision, we have analyzed the whole curriculums of the key leading institutions in the world. And we realized that something in red color you can see is missing, which need to be answered in the future Master of Design program development, such as advanced manufacturing and intelligent data-centric innovation, scientific experiments meet creativity, which is something very fun, and the systematic approach. So by doing this, and we have a constant collaboration with the industry, especially in the GBA. For example, this one is with the GAC, the Guangzhou Motors, and we try to help them to develop the navigation system for finding a charging post. And you can imagine when you drive a car, you're driving by yourself, or you're driving with your wife, or driving with your mom, with your mother-in-law, with 2 kids. Different people inside the car, they have different needs. Maybe someone needs to rush to the toilet, and maybe someone feel hungry, got a low blood sugar, and the kids feel noisy, etc. So all of these problems will alter the priority of finding the charging post. So that is something not only we shouldn't only based on automatic navigation algorithm, but we should help them to have a more human-centric approach to design the future charging navigation system. So to summarize our program, we believe designers see the world as a system which to be organized and integrated. We cannot in the future society to provide a solution only based on the interface or something looks pretty, shiny, but something need to be to provide the real function to answer the needs. Okay, sorry. So now to put this in word, and I think our new vision including how can we nurture the proactive leaders and the game changers for the future industry, and also how can we educate the interdisciplinary research and education in the GBA region. What is the industry needs and what is the trend, and how can we educate the future designers to satisfy that. And also we want to provide based on the specialism, the students can grab something they need and to become a unique designers. They can self-define what kind of designer they want to be. And also we want to make the future designers to feel at home in the arts, humanities, science, engineering, and mathematics. You won't feel very unfamiliar with any of this field. Okay, so put it into graph. It's our program is like this. The designers come in from one side and they're gonna hit these strings, graduate from another side. Okay, so if you look at this, students A, maybe from design background, and B, maybe from engineering background, and maybe other students from, I don't know, journalism, and also we have a media background. So all of the students will come together to grab something you don't have. Okay, you don't want to repeat something you have learned already, you're good at. It's something you are not really good at with. So you need to fill in the gap in your knowledge span. And then to become a designer, when you graduate, you maybe graduate from design perspective, or maybe you graduate from business perspective, maybe a bit more engineering. We don't know. That's something you can define by yourself, what kind of designers you want to be with your own strength. Okay, so this is just an example. Patrick from engineering background, and through this program, he can become a very unique designer to contribute to the innovation industry. So this in the general, yeah. So our admin team is say, hurry up. Okay. So this is a very general the plan of the curriculum. You can see from year 1 to year 3 in total we have 36 credits, and we have foundation subjects, specialism major, and lab studies, and we have studios, and also have 2 research common, which is research and analysis for design, and also academic writing, and then plus capstone. So in total will be 36. And our admin team will introduce the details of this curriculum design to you. So in the end, I just want to summarize why choose our Master of Design. I think in general, I think we will help you to reposition you in the industry, reposition you to contribute something significant in the innovation, because we believe the Hong Kong is reshaping into something about the technology and the innovation. So this program can help you find a good position in that whole pipeline. Okay, and on top of that, we have a brilliant infrastructure and the learning environments, very good library, and material source centers you can touch, you can experience. And I see they may be gonna charge you a bit, but they have all the equipments you need. Okay, if they're gonna can be very helpful. Okay, so learning and teaching activities, we have tutorials, studios, workshops, company visits, go to Shenzhen. Now the border is open. We do that quite often. Okay, and the seminars and the capstone and the prototyping and the demonstration and the lab studies. And you can see that is something we try to bridge the boundary between research with teaching. So we're gonna bring the real research project into the classroom. Very exciting. Okay, so basically that's all for the introduction. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Thanks and welcome to the PolyU School of Design, and thanks Stephen for introducing the a very difficult, actually, to a very new program. So I representing the IBD, the Innovative Business Design subjects. My name's Benny Leong. I would like to apologize because our program leader, Dr. Sylvia Liu, has a conference to attend, so she couldn't attend. Okay, I think everyone heard about innovation, right? Particularly so-called the design-led, design-driven innovation, promoted by Roger Martin and the IDEO, leader Tim Brown, right, for quite some time. And of course, IBD, if you look at the business, we are not just talking about design. We are actually promoting innovation with the purpose of nurturing a talent which aim at, sort of entrepreneurial, in a sense, how to be entrepreneurial in a company, how can be entrepreneurial to build up your own company. So of course, still we are, as Stephen mentioned, we are very much interested to bring different discipline knowledge together to enable the student to learn. And by all means, because the School of Design have such a long history, next year will be our 60th anniversary. And so we're talking about the aspiration to see that we are going to build innovation ecosystem, which means that by making use of the internal resources, like the Lee Ka-shing Design Innovation Center within the school and also within the SD Plus, and also the industry connection that we had, through the many years of history and experience from outside, from the industry, the government, the NGO, would like to, train our students as a catalyst to make change, to really help to transform, the society in the one that we prefer. So, of course, to do that, a catalyst has to be someone that could take lead, to make change, right? So our target is to look for those students aspire to be the future leaders and have the aspiration also to transform and change, not only the business, but also the society. So you see that our focus of training is about innovation leadership, but this innovation is underlined or overarched by the concept of design-driven entrepreneurship. So we have a kind of training that we're focusing on how to enable students to understand the challenge of being an entrepreneur, and then with the integrated design thinking approach. Unlike the usual design thinking approach, normally borrowed by the design discipline, we actually try to integrate the business side and then the tech side to come with a kind of process for the student to practice. Lastly, of course, there's a context behind us. We are also seeing that the technology with the also the business changes these days is so drastic and so dynamic. So all that bear in mind that it actually being sort of aware or being sort of introduced and make students aware of, and through that approach, and then we hope going back to what we target for, innovation leadership. Okay, now if you see the team, we have our specialism leader, Sylvia, and then we also have our deputy specialism leader, Kelvin Daly. He's actually also the director of the Design and Innovation Center, a center which aims to help fund, entrepreneur startup in this particular center itself. I myself is also focusing on the integrative design thinking and lifestyle culture. And we have also Dr. Elaine Wong. Is more into the inclusive design side. She's also a kind of expert in psychology, design psychology. Also with our colleague Scott, he's more into the design practice side. He had worked with many companies, particularly good at branding, communication, commercialization kind of idea. So if you look at the IBD, as Stephen mentioned, that the whole master scheme is a 3 semester, the same to the IBD. And there are some common compulsory, which you can see the research analysis for design, research, and academic writing is all, the whole scheme will also practice this. And then we have, let's say, the specialism compulsory. So you see that we have a lab study, okay, human cyber physical system connected to the theme-based project. So those actually are coming together. And then we also have the design for transformation specialism compulsory, which is helping students to understand when they make use of design, how they can actually activate and transform a business or a kind of organization in a sense. And I think the most important highlight is actually in the entrepreneurship project. So this project is actually 6 credit subjects. Student will be coached by tutors and professor, trying to also to prepare specific proposal for their startup, or maybe some specific research that is talking about how to help a company to transform in terms of building the internal so-called task force or entrepreneurial task force or so. So we are, of course, we have conduct different activity with it, talk, seminar, in Hong Kong, outside Hong Kong, in the Greater Bay Area. In the past, we have been also working with various company, which is NGO, local, and then local company, regional company, and even global company. So some of you may recognize like UBS, Renon, and Hoover, 3M, those Logitech, those international company. I think that's the whole things. So thanks.
Okay, thank you. So this is the intelligent system design I'm leading. And as I mentioned before, it's more technology oriented. It's more STEAM oriented program. So why we want to do this? Again, I'm a bit a vision type of researcher. I like to talk about the vision. So if we look back in the industry era, which is the Bauhaus era, so we divide it into three levels, okay, three categories. When we talk about design education, we cannot avoid looking at the technology development and also the social changes. Because of this, we have the right contents of the design education. So around the industry era, which is the Bauhaus era, we talk about the truth to the material, and the designers focus on the constructionism, which means to build something. And the Bauhaus curriculum is like this, is focus on the crafts and focus on the fine art, craftsman, and how to use the mass manufacture to help the craftsman to make these beautiful things become to be products. And that's why around that time, the design education should focus on the machine and the mass production and build. So now we are not industry era. We are the information era now. And that's why on the technology side, we have this information and knowledge, which is about the personalized, customized, ubiquitous, intelligent data about centric technology. And on the social side, we are not really focus on building anymore. We're focused on people's behavior, perception, and behavior. So whatever you talk about Facebook, you talk about the Uber, you talk about the Kita recently coming to Hong Kong, using a new developed iPhone or Huawei phone. All of this is about the behavior. Okay, so if you can create the new, novel, meaningful behavior patterns, your product will be great. Okay, so that is the vision. So that's why our curriculum will focus on how can we integrate this technology into the design process, and to create this, which is focused on systemic, procedural, experience, interactions, products, systems, and services oriented design solutions. Okay, so that is our vision for the ISD, intelligent system design. So that's why we try to develop this high-tech centered and experimental, creative, and exploratory curriculum, and to enable our graduates, designers, to catch up the new wave of technological paradigms and to become the leaders and game changers for the future industry. Okay, so if we look at the history, and from the 1950s, because people more focus on the physical ergonomics, Henry Dreyfus, as you know, and that's why HFE was the center. Now, after the birth of the computer, the design field will focus on more on the interaction design than user experience design. But the new trend now is the human system interaction. Okay, so that is not only what we think, is the whole academic common agreed direction. Okay, so what is our interpretation of this? We have our vision in the center, and we develop this our approach into domain knowledge on top, which is a STEM. We want to base on our latest technologies, and then we implement this technology into kind of technological trends. For example, multi-touch into mobile phone is this kind of implementation. Then when we have this technological trends, then how can we develop this into the industry relevant solutions? Then when we do this design, when we do this innovation, we have some know-how, to develop this through this process. Then we can feed back those as whatever publications or something into the knowledge domain to feed back to the domain knowledge. That will become a very meaningful process. So that's why through this process, we are not only focused on design. We have a scientific, creative approach. We have a design, we also have a design engineering approach on the other side. Okay, so mainly ISD, in your mind, you should understand that is the overlapping area between science, engineering, and design. So if you a designer interested in technology or technological background interested in design, ISD is the program for you. Okay, so that's why we call STEAM, which is a STEM plus art and design. And we try to bring together all of this expertise from different fields and to develop meaningful and also deployable innovations. Okay, so so we are also research incentive program. So that is the basic curriculum, and we have the electives, and we have basically 5 electives. That's why 15, and compulsory specialism subjects, and compulsory studio subjects, and lab studies. And then we go in the semester 3 summer term. We have the industry collaborative project to work. All the projects is industry collaborative, okay, with support with the real industry partners. And we have academic writing to support your writing a report and publications. Okay, so this is the basic curriculum. I don't think I should waste too much time here, right? Okay, so we go a bit faster. And later, if you have any questions, all of us will be here. Feel free to ask. And just want to give you a couple of examples to save time. And this is one outcome in the collaboration with Huawei. And because Huawei has a phone, has a Huawei watch, has a earphone or whatever the device. Now, the key question is, what will be the future direction for this personalized information products? And the idea is we're going to focus on not individual parameters like heart rate, blood pressure, sweat, etc., but we focus on the overarching circadian, the living patterns of the user. So this is the video to explain the concept. So you can see we focus on the physical prototype, the curving material, and that's something through the experiments. And also the concept was very well received by Huawei, and which will help to develop their future, circle of these products for personal health. And this idea, this concept has won the A Design Award, which is quite well known in the world. And another, wrong time. Another example, just quickly show you. This is also award-winning project. This is about how to support elderly people to remember Chinese character. Okay, so the idea is turning the Chinese character into different parts and turning that into kind of a melody. So when the user put these components together as creating kind of a melody. So you remember the word in the same time melody. So through the multi-channel memorizing process, you can remember the Chinese character better. So just before I finish, I just want to explain to you this. This is very important. When we design things, this is based on the activity theory. You need to have a theoretical background. Then you can see we have a rules, how to play the game, community, 2 or 3 or 5 people play together, and division of labors, how they play different roles in this. Okay, so we have subjects, objects, and tools. So you can see the blue ones are conformed. something predefined before your project. You define the subjects, your user. You define what kind of objects you want to control. But the whole functions, the behavior will be all of this. This, you can change the community. You say you design the game for 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, your tools will be totally different, right? If you change the rules of the game, the tools will be different. If you change the division of labor, the tools will be different. So, which means you cannot put all the parameters become moving components. You have to have a fix as an anchor that you can make your parameters become very tangible. Now you can have a pretty good solution like this. Okay, so that's all from ISD. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is it better? Okay, much better. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Shara Park, specialism leader of the Smart Service Design. Today, I'm going to briefly explain about our programs and structure and the previous work. So any of you guys know service design here? No? Only faculty member. So like Professor Steve Wang explained, our program is the newly developed programs. And then the Smart Service Design is the first program in Asia, which has the bachelor and master integrated programs in PolyU. So we have now second year round, and then next year will be third. So what is the service design? So the service design is the design outcome that integrated the above levels and below the levels. Above level is that the service or any application or experience that you have everyday life. And the below is that as you can see, you can't really see it. However, there's like a system that supports that experience you desired. So service design aims to integrate the holistically above level and below the level, also really human-centered approach with the systemically, also strategically. So how we do that? Smart service design, we actually consider three main angles. Firstly, we start with the problems or challenges in our society. For example, climate changes or aging populations or the urbanism and inequality. A lot of the issues and problems that we start from what's desirable for our society. And then we also consider the left-hand side, economy and business. So what is viable in the market? What is a new value network or platform that can drive a new the value? So how can the designers involve there? And then the other side is technology, and then the innovation. How that technology can able to support, also open the new capacity to run the smart service design. So we are here. We started here from the top. What's needs? What is desirable from our society? So that we aim to integrate, also create a meaningful intervention that meet the broader societal, business, and then environment challenges through service design, right? So let me give you some example how the last year students actually deliver some work. These are some samples of the industry collaborative work, working with the Lego and Gone. And this year we have another the set of the industry partners lined up. So let's look at the video.
So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
So that video doesn't, the smart service design is not only the consider digital service or some kind of the digital platform, but we also consider some the physical touch point as well as the digital touch point. So maybe in the future, we can also consider other different kind of a project, such as smart mobility. Think about when the vehicle can move and what kind of design opportunity we can imagine. And then the smart work, when we do not need to meet actually in our work, then what kind of the working environments and then a mode maybe we can imagine. Also think about the smart tourism, so hospitalities. So how that hospitality and tourism, meaning of travel, can be changed. And healthcare and smart home and also smart city. These kind of themes are main themes that we are considering for coming year. So I think most of you guys really wondering, after you study in smart service design, then what can I do? So I think that the smart service design actually stayed in middle. The students after graduate, you can learn from the both customer side, which is user, and the business side, business provider. Also, what is the technology and the strategy level? So in the middle, you can work with the other disciplines. So basically, you are really core the role to play to facilitate these the valuable input and output as well. So that is a position of your potential graduate position after finish your study. And then there's also other more example. For example, the students or graduate who wants to study more in service experience track, then obviously you guys can work as a service designer. This is existing the job title. Even like Hong Kong, it's quite new. However, AIA or the financial service and HSBC, these are all have the service designer in their firm. And then they can also study service design experience track and then work as a UX designer, of course. And then someone who are more interested in the research and then design research, obviously. And the more business track or management track, of course, you guys think about your own startup after finishing the program. And then, or business strategist or designing the strategies or marketing. So either experience track or the management track, you guys have a variety of the wide range of the job sector. So I would not really explain much about the program details, but if you can, we can talk about what actually you can learn from smart service design, and then some of the real practice in a breakout session. So the actually breakout session is happening in this room. So if you guys interested and stay in here, and then we also have the fellowships. So yeah. Will inform in the breakout session. Okay, I'm on time. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Ceci. Good afternoon, everyone. So may I ask before I start, who is interested in the room for TD? One. So I'm going to explain to you, Stephen, what TED is about. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laurent Gutierrez. I'm a professor at School of Design. I'm an architect from background and also as an artist for research. So what I'm going to concentrate on is the introduction of TD, Transitional Environments Design. It's in a similar way than SSD is the first kind of its kind in Asia. TED is also the first program that address the idea of transitional kind of approach in the field of design. So what is transition is basically, I mean, you can use another word, is when you kind of transform something, but not like a massive transformation, but a movement that is steady and continuous. We call it nudging as well. So transitional is basically to address, transitional environment design is to address among the biggest challenges that we are currently facing, not only in Hong Kong, but globally, and that is to say climate change. If we look at the 10 most important issues that the world is or need to address according to the World Economic Forum, which is a pretty good source, not something that I like to quote, but a pretty good source. 6 out of the 10 are related to transitional environment, means to climate change, biodiversity, threat from immigration, and so on. So basically, we are really within the field of the possibility of addressing the challenges of the world. So transition is, or transitional design is about change. Definitely, we could observe on a daily basis that the way we are living, the way we are producing, consuming, extracting resources, wasting or producing waste or whatsoever is not working. So we have to operate a change in all those levels. Transitional design is basically addressing any of those, but essentially focus on environments, means basically spaces where we are living in. It could be starting from your street or your community, your neighborhood, but also to an extended space, such as a town, a city, a territory, or even an organization. So that's basically any form of environment will be addressed within the transitional design environment. So the one we are mainly focusing on is the one that we are based in, means between Hong Kong and China, and specifically the Greater Bay Area. We will be looking, or we are looking at different issues. Of course, the rural and the urban spaces that are the 2 most important, but not only. And the focus of TED, Transitional Environment Design, is essentially an ecological approach. So similarly than smart service design, we are looking at it from an holistic and systemic perspective, means we understand immediately that to address complex, wicked, entangled global and local challenges, we could not address them with solutions. So for example, in TED, we never talk about we don't have problems and we don't have solutions. We have challenges and we build up opportunities. So that's changing also the vocabulary. We are proposing new development, new opportunities to basically address the complex, wicked, entangled global and local challenges. The framework that we're using, also, I'm not a fan of it, and I find it a bit updated, but that's the best we have, is United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, SDG. They are already 8 years old. Unfortunately, this is a framework for anyone in the world looking at ecological, social, economic kind of equity and development. So this is a framework I personally, and within the TD, we somehow criticize those. Also, it serves as a framework. We criticize those because they are mainly human-centered approach, and TD at the kind of, not in opposition, but as a kind of difference with my my colleague and the other program, is not human-centered, but is bio-centered. What is more important is the dimension of the living, the biological dimension, because I think we're just part of it. Without the living, we don't exist. Without so basically, we're looking at a much larger sphere than only the human sphere. Obviously, we are part of the equation, and we are developing projects and opportunities from our perspective, but targeting a much wider sphere. Within TED, what we're trying to do, and actually what we're doing, is basically to move from simple kind of networks. So on the left, yes, you have on your left, you have what used to serve as a reference for what we call acoustic, means the art or knowledge to build settlement, human settlement. And you can see there are like 5 different items. And then what we do is with TD, we move to the right side diagram, where basically the urban system, and we talk about urban system or rural system, are far more complex and integrate an environment, integrate resources, energy, modes of mobility, obviously notion of waste, production, supply chain, and other environments such as the atmosphere, the oceanic dimension, and so on. So just to position where transition design is obviously we are, and I will say that not so far from the service design specialism. Also maybe less business oriented in some aspect, also less technologically oriented. Also we use technology as a mean, but we are more into the concern into the natural world, the ecological dimension. Just to conclude, is design, a transitional environment design is concerned with obviously the geosphere where we are living, the planet Earth, the biosphere, the life that we are part of, and that's include obviously the plants and all the living organisms, including bacteria and the invisible one that are around us. And the last one, the noosphere, that probably none of you know, but is basically the sphere which is happening within your mind. Everything is about consciousness, and everything is something that we could eventually prepare in advance or design in advance. And that's what we're doing in the TED. Thank you very much.